What's up everybody, Discreet here with a little different video. As you can see, we got the camera rolling today, and I just wanted to try something out to see how it's gonna go. In today's video, like you saw on the title, we're gonna be looking at some of your guys' suggestions for Marvel Rivals. In the Marvel Rivals official Discord, they have their own channel for suggestions that people can leave. I thought it'd be fun to go in, check out the channel, and see what some of your guys' suggestions were, and give some of my thoughts on the suggestions that you guys have made. Just kind of talk about them, see what's up. You know, in the suggestion channel, you really can't discuss them or talk about them besides giving some sort of reaction to it. So I thought this would be a good place, you know, to talk about them, see what people think. So let's talk about it in the comments. Also, let me know if you like this type of video down in the comments below as well. Without further ado, let's jump into it. Our first suggestion today is from the user Morgan0666, and their suggestion is please add more tools to the training range. Things like strafing enemies, bots, target practice at multiple ranges, and multiplayer functionality with party members. Now, let's just get this out the way. I think that's a fantastic suggestion. If you're some type of FPS game, I think you should have some sort of in-depth training system in your game. So a game like Valorant does it pretty well, where they just, you know, it doesn't have to be a lot, but something that just allows you to kind of warm up your aim. Most of the time, the bots don't even have the same hitbox as the actual players. So, I mean, just kind of giving out some way to allow for it. I think, you know, adding a practice range for sure is crucial. I mean, again, being able to just sit there, shoot at something, get your aim nice and warm before you hop into some games. I don't think it has to be too crazy, but something at least that. I think Overwatch did a good job by adding something similar to what Valorant already has. So just taking some examples like that, adding into the game, I think it'd be really beneficial. I mean, if they want to go one step further and do some sort of character mastery, wink wink, that wouldn't be bad. Honestly, it would just help for people to get better with the characters and further improve their skills. So honestly, great suggestion, great suggestion. Let's move on to suggestion number 2. Suggestion number 2 comes from Drixpunk. They ask, every time Loki uses ultimate, the hero he transforms into should have green horns on their head to indicate that it's Loki. I saw this and I was on the fence about it. I'll be real with you. I thought, you know, at first it seems like a really good idea. Like at least giving some sort of visual cue to see who Loki changed into, or to know that like, okay, this person is not the actual character. This person's Loki. Some indicator like that I don't think is a bad idea, but I also don't mind that it's not obvious. Not making obvious is kind of fitting to what Loki's kid is all about. I mean, he has clones that honestly, it takes a while for you to understand which one is a clone and which one's the real Loki. Then he also has the ability to go invisible for forever. So you know what I'm saying? Like, being a trickster and deceiving the enemy is all about his kid. So I mean, most of the time, it's not too hard to know that it's the Loki ulting and doing stuff. I understand for newer players, it'll be better if there was some sort of visual understanding, like, oh, this character, it was taken, you know? So like, oh, there's now 2 Iron Mans on their team instead of 1, because you can, if you didn't know, take somebody's ult from your team. You can actually transform it to them. It doesn't actually have to be an enemy like another hero from a different game. But yeah, so I mean, I get it. I'm on the fence with this one. I like the skill that comes with understanding which person Loki transformed into, but I can also get for the newer players, it'll be a little easier. So I mean, I'm on the fence with this one. I think it's a good suggestion, but I don't know. It kind of takes away from that skill that players have. That's something you learn as you play the game more and more. Good suggestion though. Let's move on to suggestion number 3. Suggestion number 3 comes from AsurXM. Their suggestion, please add role queue to Marvel Rivals, especially in competitive. It is extremely taxing and unfun when people refuse to balance out the teams and pick 4 damaged characters, etc. The infamous role queue discussion. I literally just made a video about this down in the shorts and on the TikTok and whatnot, kind of just talking about the 2 main point of views about this. And I can see both sides. I'll be real with you, I'm more on the side on let's not add role queue, and I'd hate to bring up Overwatch at this time, but I mean, it is a very close similarity in terms of gameplay style and whatnot, so learn from other people's mistakes is what I say. You know, they showed some data to us. Now, I don't know how true the data is and how it reflects the actual player base all that much, but they themselves said that adding role queue not only increased the queue times, but it kind of started to get rid of that identity of what Overwatch was, that kind of crazy chaoticness that Overwatch brought. At least what I've heard from other people kind of playing Marvel Rivals, they're finding that chaoticness in Marvel Rivals right now. So I feel like if we add role queue, and yes, you could add role queue to competitive or a specific game mode, but the more and more we separate the player base into different types of game modes, I feel that will not only increase queue times, but I mean, you start to separate the player base, which I guess is not necessarily the worst thing. I think role queue is partially one of the reasons why Overwatch has gone downhill. Not saying Overwatch is bad, and they're doing perfectly fine, I'm assuming. I know there's been a lot of complaints with the team over there, Blizzard and everything, but I know when I first played Overwatch, when it first came out, I like specifically remember being able to pick whoever I wanted and having that ability to like, okay, let me just swap to healing, or oh, you know, I need to tank up for the team, let me tank up for the team. You know, having that choice was such a fun, unique thing. And then I remember getting back into it, it was so clear because I remember playing with a buddy and I was like, what the heck, like they added, why am I choosing my character right now? And they're like, oh no, you just choose that role, then you could choose a character from there. I was like, what the heck? And like, I don't know, it was just weird. It was a weird time, okay? All that to say, I'm not saying role queue is bad. I think it does help with that main argument, the fact that you'll have games where people will run specifically only duelist or only vanguards or only strategists. Like, I get that, but I think that's also part of the unique fun that can come with the game, that you can be like, hey, I made this example in the short, talking about if role queue was added into the game, then you wouldn't be able to play as the original 6 Avengers from the Avengers movie on a team. It just wouldn't be possible, because at this point in time, we have Thor, who's a Vanguard, we have Hulk, who's a Vanguard, and guess what? Captain America is a Vanguard. So technically, if we had a 2-2-2 split on the team, you wouldn't be able to play that. And I'll be real with you, that's a YouTube video right there, bro. That's a video in itself, just playing as the original Avengers, which I know they're technically not the original Avengers, but from the movies, what a lot of people know them as, like the Avengers as, like that's gonna be like, a missed opportunity. And you're telling me I can't play that in a competitive mode? I get it. Like, there are optimal strategies that can be used in games, and those are what tend to become the meta a lot of times. Not saying the optimal is the complete best, because you can make plenty of things work. Like, it's been shown. I feel like also the other argument that people make behind, like, they don't want to see a GOAT type of meta coming into Marvel Rivals, I kind of just feel like that's on the developers and how much they want to update the game, one. And then on top of that, I think team-ups are going to be crazy important in this game. As we saw, like, anyone played in the beta, like, that Scarlet Witch and Magneto team-up was so insane. Magneto went from a solid tank to one of the more aggressive and repressive tanks in the game as soon as he played with Scarlet Witch. That sword ability, like, was busted. You're 2 to 3 tapping all the 250 health characters. It was insane. Like, him, Spider-Man gets basically a kill confirm with Venom. Like, there's a lot of things that add that I think team-ups will be a crucial part. I can talk on and on about the role queue and whether or not I think it'll be good or bad. TLDR, I don't think they should have role queue to the game, even for only competitive. I think that's part of the competitive thing. I think they added the ban and pick system specifically to curate to an open queue type of game. So I don't think it should be added into it. What do you guys think? Should it? Should it not? Good suggestion, though. Good suggestion. On to our next suggestion. This comes from RainyBoy520. I think there should be a form of free earnable currency or a way to earn the premium currency. There's a few games I've come across that are free to play and have both forms that can be earned. Over time, you'll eventually earn a skin or you can buy it right away. Just another way to keep the free players engaged and not turned away the way Overwatch has done it. Or more events that have a free exclusive skin reward at the end, much like Venom and Scarlet Witch every once in a while. This is a great suggestion, honestly. really good. I've liked the ability that you could slowly earn that premium currency. One main example, and this is back in the day of the old Fortnite days, being able to earn their premium currency through the battle pass. It was one of the free rewards that you got, and so after like 4 or 5 seasons, you could buy the battle pass, the premium battle pass, using the stuff that you earned. So like you technically never bought it. In terms of like a business perspective, it's not the best idea. So I understand if they decide if they don't want to do that, because technically you're giving someone the option to earn something that would usually cost money for free, and then make it so like no one can buy your battle pass, which I mean, let's be real, in the world of gaming right now, battle passes are all the rage. So I think it'd be a cool idea, but then you have to start to think, so does that premium currency, do they need to pay every season to purchase the battle pass, and the battle pass replenishes that premium currency so you can buy the battle pass the next season and the next season and stuff, as long as you're playing and getting through the battle pass? Or is it similar to a system like Valorant, where you have to buy the battle pass regardless of you finishing it or whatnot, and so you have to purchase it every single season? The other part that they mentioned was having a premium skin in an event or something like that, and I think that's a good idea as well. I think adding some sort of exclusive skin towards an event, so like for instance a Christmas event, that you can earn by slowly earning the rewards. I feel like that's kind of standard in a lot of games nowadays, so not saying I kind of expect that, but I kind of do. We'll have to see if they do it similar to Overwatch, how they did their last holiday event where you could earn only a certain amount of the skin. So like there was 5 skins available, but you could only get 3 depending on how you used your points or whatever. Having some sort of exclusive skin reward will be really good for the game. I kind of expect that when we get to those times of year. Otherwise, hey, good suggestion, great suggestion. Let's move on to our last one for today. Our last suggestion for today comes from the user SilverFenrir0606. Good day to you, team. In my opinion, it could be interesting to have some collection aspects such as collectible cards, background, wallpaper, nothing affecting the stats in game, but some rewards to display, use as a wallpaper, or even trade with friends. Now this one caught my eye for a couple of reasons. They wanted specifically collectibles that I'm assuming you can earn throughout the game. And when they said like wallpapers or backgrounds, I don't know any game that really does something like this, rather than like developers just creating backgrounds and wallpapers that you could just use, that they like give out on their social media or like in something like Discord or something like that. So I think it would be interesting to earn something like that through a game, but then also having the ability to trade with other players was kind of what really caught my eye. And that's where I don't know if that would be possible. I can see them implementing something like this if there was no trading involved. Maybe if they do it through Steam, that adds a whole market and market value to things. Maybe like you're purchasing. So maybe if they made it strictly so it's like you're not purchasing. I'm not sure exactly how the whole Steam marketplace works exactly. So I'm not sure if you can make items specifically free. There could be the chance that scammers and scams like that could come about by things like this. I mean, having collectible cards would be interesting. It's an interesting idea. I don't know how it could be implemented in a way that would be good and couldn't be exploited in a bad way. I think something they can do kind of bouncing off of this is adding more customization options to the player. So like you get maybe a wallpaper that you can add to your profile specifically, and you can get ways to get those. So that'd be a way to like add in maybe to those limited time events. Adding a collectible would be hard, I'd say, in a game like this. I don't know where they would kind of implement it, especially when you can like trade with people. I feel like it'd just be easier to just add a wallpaper or a background or something like that out on social media or on the Discord server itself. Otherwise, I mean, not a bad suggestion. Good suggestion. That's all I have for you guys today. If you guys enjoyed this type of video, just leave a like down below and hey, maybe comment something like, what's up? Don't forget, a lot of these suggestions came from the official Discord server, so if you want to leave your own suggestion for the team, go head over there and leave a suggestion, and maybe, hey, maybe I'll talk about it. We'll see. That's all for me, so I'll be catching you guys on the flippity flip. Peace!